Hello everybody, today I have a look at two interesting knives from the Swedish company Eka. A company that makes knives since more than 100 years, since 1874 or something I once read. So really these are very experienced people from northern Sweden, where people historically had, let's say, a lot of outdoor life and needed sturdy blades for their usage. So they have definitely a number of lovely and very well made fixed blades. Here I have, however, a look at two folders which I would think are more suitable for universal carry. What I'm looking at in more detail is the Swede 8. I think it can be that it's Swede 8 Lite as a model, which is a very affordable but sturdy working folder and a lovely, more classic, I would say, alternative to the more technical designed knives in that price range, because it is something like $25 to $30 to give you an idea. Well, probably without the sheet then. And here the Swede 88 with a very nice birch handle, and this is really one of my absolute favorite pocket knives. First a look at this one. So they use a kind of a moose leather sheet. In my case, that's how it came. It came with a sheet. I don't know if it comes with a sheet in all markets. So yeah, it's good enough, the sheet, so while it's open it will not fall out. So that's already nicely done. It is a very classic in design, as you can see. There is and I like that kind of classic design, simple, clean lines that are time proven and that you appreciate more and more while using it. The handles are bubinga wood, which is a hard kind of wood. Also, yes, Eka typically have always wooden handles, because you could imagine northern Sweden, it can be pretty cold there in winter. Well, you want something that's not cold to the touch there, and that's why they have nice sturdy wooden handles. It comes actually, which I think is quite nice, with two bits here to help you if you need to do a repair or to adjust the pivot here. So that is quite nice. And you can already have an impression that this is a beefy liner backlock. Also, you can already, before I open it, have an impression that the blade is thick. It's around, I would say, it's 3mm, which for a simple pocket knife as this is quite impressive. So strictly two-hand, I don't care about that. Sometimes if you're a very heavy user, yes, one hand is practical if you hold something with the other hand. In general, I don't mind if it's one or two hands. It locks very well. Actually, they know how to make backlocks at Eka. They do that since so long. There is really it's a perfectly fitting knife and actually a perfect quality for a reasonable price. In this case, unlike almost all, well, in essence all the other ones that I've seen already, this uses AOS 8 steel, so the well-known Japanese steel, roughly on par with 440C, you could say. So it's a decent steel. It's not the best, but you can easily get a wickedly sharp edge on it. And again, you see the very thick spine. I think also this makes a good present, I would say, for scouting teenagers, well, who let's say act responsible, of course. Because this is clearly a nice outdoor knife that's really not designed for tactical usage, but a good hollow ground here that allows for good cutting, even if the top is a bit thick, which, well, you always have that if you want to do food prep with it. With a knife, if you have a thick blade, yes, it's sturdy, but it always slices less good than something thin. But this works pretty well. As we see, no nonsense, that's what I like. It's very typical for Scandinavian knives, actually, in my opinion. They are no nonsense, they are pure and simple and have soul, and this is one of them. A very nice companion knife and at a really good price. A look now at the Eka Swede 88 Masur. So it also exists for a bit less money in the same wood as this one. But I think this one is really very special in look. Yes, there's also a moose leather sleeve, very smooth, but definitely not in all markets it comes with this sheet. So it is actually a compressed kind of birch, this Masur. It's not a normal birch handle. This definitely is very nice in the hand. It has a tactile pleasure, and again you have that feeling of a pure tool that has been designed by experienced people, something that's beyond fashion, and that you feel that already, and you will notice quickly when using it how cleverly it is designed. It's really one of my favorites. You notice also this is a thin blade. I open it again. It's a two-hand knife, but not an issue with that, as I mentioned. So indeed the right one, which is cheaper also because of the handle, because the left one with the same wood is roughly the same price. Yeah, this is indeed a more sturdy knife. In as far as you would pry with a knife, it's better to do it with this than with that. Now, however, this being more or less the thickness of an Opinel 8 and a very good grind, actually, this is a terrific slicer. So it will really, when you're camping or something, you're preparing food, this goes very well with that. But even while it's a thin blade, it is strong. You can use this quite hard. I mean, you shouldn't be afraid of that. The steel is one of my personal favorites. Is a European quality steel from Sandvik 12C27, also used for example in Lagios. Typical of 12C27 is when it's well done, when it's properly hardened and so on. That is a pretty tough kind of steel, which is good for outdoor use. So it's more difficult to get chipping compared to some more higher end powder steels, which can sometimes be a bit brittle. So it is definitely a good steel that can also handle rust pretty well. Well, I mean, it won't rust easily. So it's another good advantage here. You have a big screw here to adjust the pivot. So you can even turn it with a coin. There's another practical design thing. You don't need those weird bits here, for example, that the other one, and in fact most knives have. So what I also like about this particular handle foam, you will really never slip your finger on the blade because of this foam. So it looks so simple, but it's totally well designed, and well, it's a bit, you could say, the same with an iPhone, which is also, or an iPod. These are also simple devices, but it takes a lot of experience and good thinking to make something so simple in a convincing way, and that's what Eka does well. So you have the soul, the history, in a friendly, civilized kind of outdoor knife that should give years of pleasure. Very nice in the hand with a good feel. So I can strongly recommend this. This is one of my absolute favorites. I mean, I like this as much as my much more expensive Spydercos, which of course I dearly love, but this one has a charm all on its own. So I will summarize and put them side by side. A knife maker which is not necessarily so well known outside Europe, and really worth discovering, because they have a whole range of really convincing knives for general outdoor usage. That's what they do well. Classic wood, strong, dependable folders that are beyond fashion. The very affordable Swede number 8 or 8 Lite, I'm not certain anymore, with a thick blade, strong backlock, a general utility knife of great quality, and here the super special, well designed thin blade, so splendid slicer, Eka Masur 88 with a compressed birch handle. Really lovely. So I hope you found this an interesting review, perhaps even a discovery, and as usual feel free to leave bluntly honest feedback.